Dude, you have such a way of like, why is it your yearly wrap-ups make me want to fucking bawl my eyes out? What are you doing to me?
Welcome to Life's Greatest Hits. I'm Jason Earle.
And I am Jordan Foley.
Here's how it goes. Each episode we choose a vinyl. The two of us get together and listen one time through. Then we discuss our takeaways.
Hell yeah.
This episode's a little different. It's our second annual Superlatives episode.
Wow.
Each one of us has brought physical copies of records that we acquired this year. They don't necessarily have to be records that came out this year. And when we sat down to do this last year, the same thing happened again this year. Two of these were consensus for us, unanimous, definitely our favorite acquisitions of the year. And we'll talk about those briefly, and then each of us has three more that we will discuss. This is year 2 of Life's Greatest Hits coming to an end, and year 3 is on the horizon.
That's
How
right.
fucking crazy is that?
That is crazy, man. We've really been going after it. You know, we took a little bit of a hiatus in the last couple months, you know. Rightfully so. I got meowied.
You got meowied.
And I got married. Everybody, in case that didn't
Matrimony.
in case that didn't come off right. I don't know. Yes, I got married. We got married. Jason and I.
we got married. Yeah.
Jason married me.
I married him.
everybody.
Yeah.
So no, yeah, I got married. Jason was our officiant. And it's just been a whirlwind of things going on in our lives and everything. It's just been a lot, both good and you know, just up and down, and been really busy. Just a really busy time, and we're very excited that we're able to get together and do this last episode of the year. And I really just love that we take the time to talk about the records that we bought that mean a lot to us. Like, we're not looking into, we should pick that record because somebody made it this year.
Yeah.
I think that was something that we discussed before, where we were like, let's go a little further. Let's talk about our record collection in terms of, you know, I imagine you have a list. You have a list of records that you're on the lookout for, right?
I do. Yeah.
I just had this conversation with Mariah recently because I asked her what is the number one record you're looking for, and she thought about it.
Yeah.
It ended up being Ceremonials by Florence and the Machine.
Oh wow.
And I was really surprised by that. So
I
it
would
was,
be too. But that's awesome.
Yeah, but it was cool. It's
That's
cool
a
you get to have that.
Yeah.
And the conversation was great.
Yeah,
But my point is that I feel like I always make a list of records that I'm on the lookout for, because some will pop up at a record store or on Discogs or wherever online, and I'll be like, I can't pass up that record.
Yeah.
So I feel like record collecting is way more than just about what's out now, I think, is my overall point.
Yeah.
But funny enough, we are talking about the things that are the records that have come out this year first.
Yeah,
and
our
that's
first
great
two,
because honestly, you know, we actually were talking about this when we were setting up. I said, you know, it's hard for me to remember some of the other albums that I thought were maybe like, you know, my fifth favorite of 2023. I don't know. I make the list, but I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
This year, I think both of our top two go hand in hand in terms of our favorites.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to talk about them. Of course, we did discuss them already this year.
Full episodes on each one. Yeah.
Full episodes of each one. So I feel like, you know, we'll just talk about, you know, maybe what made them so great.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Maybe tell me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I feel like maybe my one is Jason Isbell's Foxes in the Snow,
Yes.
and my 1A is Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers.
1A.
And yours is like the opposite,
Exact
maybe?
opposite.
Yeah.
It is the exact opposite,
Yeah.
but it is not without hard thought and like
same. Yeah.
recollection. I also have I think a lot of the albums that I listen to, I get really attached to them because they are a part of my life in a certain time period. So there's a sentimental value to the music that I listen to. And these two hit the nail on the head for me.
Yeah, so what makes Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers 1A for you, just briefly?
Sure. I think Snipe Hunter is 1A because I think it's such a beautiful thing, okay? To see an artist dive into a new sound, a new style, a new influence, but also still have a very authentic and original, like, it was still Childers, you know what I mean? And he took that extra reach. And I also love the T, man. I love that people were bashing it. And not that that sounds very wrong. It sounds like I'm
what
glad
you
they're
mean,
bashing
though.
it. I mean, I think everybody's wrong. You know what I mean? I think everybody is incorrect. Anybody who feels that Snipe Hunter didn't live up to expectations, you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
I agree.
And that makes me champion it
Yep.
all the more.
Yeah.
You know, and funny enough, Foxes in the Snow is a
I was
very
just gonna
similar
say-
way.
I was just
you
saying,
know,
yep.
it's like they're the underdog albums, man.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy to say that about those two like behemoths of Americana, but it's so true, man.
so good, though.
I'm seeing Foxes in the Snow like 10th and 12th and 15th on people's lists of like best Southern records,
Obama.
and things like that. It was great to see that on there too. Also, shout out to the ladies from I'm With Her.
Yeah.
That Aoife O'Donovan lives here in Orlando, actually. And that was really cool to see on Obama's list too. But I think it was wild to me. It still is wild to me because in my mind, and I'm biased, I think Isbell's the greatest.
Yeah.
But
same.
it is wild to me to see him, this record so far down on people's lists. We talked about it at length when the record came out. So I'm not going to rehash all those arguments and all those points that we made. But yeah, that's a really interesting point that like as respected as both of these guys are, these records were still kind of underdog records in a way because people they weren't received as the same.
Exactly. They're not what you expected.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that we ever expected Isbell to strip his sound down. But also, we never really expected a lot of things. I think, and that's another thing I've really been battling with is just how much we know about Isbell's personal life and like the connection, the ties into the music that he wrote. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like he's opening the curtain, but he's like doing it because he wants, you know, because it's his outlet.
Yeah.
It's almost like we get to see this, and I felt that same way about Amanda Shires' album. I had a tough time. I've had a tough time kind of really listening, but it doesn't mean I think any differently. It's just that I need to be in a certain mood to really feel all the feels with that album.
Yeah, no, I'm with
Foxes
you. Yeah.
in the Snow, and with Snipe Hunter, it kind of gives you a little bit of everything that I needed a little bit of a drive this year. I needed a little bit of, you know, songs that were gonna hit harder, you know. And I also learned that on the same other side of the coin, the other side of the token, that, you know, I also needed my downtime. There was plenty of time that I spent with Foxes in the Snow. I guess I'm just trying to look at the exact difference, and that's tough. I think again, when we get into the discussion of music, it is not objective.
Yeah.
It's perspective. Is that
It's subjective.
subjective? Yeah, whatever. Cut that out. It's subjective.
Putting it right in the front.
No, we already have Betty Botter and all the other.
This is gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot up front, baby.
You're gonna have to edit all this. Yeah. So it's a tough call. I also feel like, you know, in recent years, my favorite artists haven't been at the top of my list. Like I look at them, you know, there have been albums in the last couple years where I'm like, I had high hopes and expectations, and they're very good.
Yeah.
But they weren't. I didn't go back to them over and over again the way that I did with these two in particular this year.
Man, awesome. All right, so those are our two, and we're gonna dive into the other three that were our big purchases of the year. Let's have you go first if we can.
Sure,
Jordan.
I will go first. So the first record of choice that I got this year was "No Distance" by the late Richard Sherfey. Richard Sherfey was he passed away a few years ago, but he was a good friend. He was really involved in the music scene here in Orlando, and he had traveled all over and had played a ton. It was just wonderful. He was such a cool dude, and I really got to know him over the last couple years of his life before he passed. And I knew that he had been working on a record, and I felt like I really was looking forward to hearing more of it because I got to hear some of it, I think, at a show one time where I was like, oh, this is some of his new shit. And then he passed away, and then the record never got finished, you know? And so his very good friend, CJ Mask, who is a guitarist and engineer, he's basically like a Swiss Army knife in Nashville. He does everything. He could do live music. He can do engineering. He could play studio musician. He could play all the things. And he's also the lead guitarist. He's the guitarist in Mike Dunn's band.
Oh, cool.
And a couple other groups, but he and Mike Dunn are like best buds and whatnot. And so, and of course, Sherfey, they were like a trio of bros, you know? And so CJ took his tracks, and I remember when Sherfey passed away that CJ was like, I'm going to do something with this. And then, like, life happens, and it's really hard to, like, he even says, CJ says this in an interview after talking about what he produced this album. He talks about, like, how tough it was to, like, really get after it. And so I think there was just a heavy level of sentimental value. When Sherfey passed away, they asked me to sing a song during his tribute show. They did a tribute set with Sherfey at one of the festivals at Will's Pub, and I was like, I was the opening slot. Like, I got to play like Ring Finger.
Oh wow!
When I played it solo, the whole band just stood behind me. It was uncomfortable. I was like really nervous. I didn't want to fuck it up. Because I looked up to him, and I really admire Richard Sherfey as an artist. And so, all that aside, the album is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And he did a really great job. And I just got to give flowers to, CJ Mask for really taking the time to work on these songs and giving them the sound that they so deserve, and giving Sherfey his voice. That really says a lot about it's a really tall order, in my opinion, to be able to do something like that. I don't know that I could do it. I don't know that I could do it personally. So kudos to CJ. Love you, Richard Sherfey. And also, it's funny because I got to see CJ a couple weeks ago, and I actually ordered this record on vinyl on Bandcamp, but I put in the wrong address. I put in an old address on accident. So it went out to Sanford, Florida. And I was like, CJ, I'm so sorry, but like, I didn't get the record. I put the wrong address. He's like, all right, well, I'm coming down to Orlando. I was like, okay. So he literally brought me a record.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So just, and I got to talk with him. So it was really cool because I wanted to do like a physical video of just asking him questions about the record. So, I figured it would be really cool to share that audio really quick
let's do it,
and have everybody hear what CJ Mask had to say about No Distance by Richard Sherfey.
Awesome. Let's give it a listen.
We are rolling. So what is your name and what do you do?
Yeah, my name is CJ Mask. I'm a musician, guitarist, audio engineer.
Tell us about your latest project, No Distance by Richard Sherfey.
Yeah, this is No Distance by my good friend Richard Sherfey. Richard and I were working on this album, or working on an album together, and when he kind of suddenly and randomly passed away, and I was able to get his laptop and pull all the demos and saved all the texts and all the conversations and things we had been working on together, and completed a whole album out of it.
What was it like working on this album, particularly on your own or with the players that are on it?
It was hard as shit. It took a very long time. I started the project many times, and every time I opened it up, I wasn't there yet to try to do it. And finally, about a year and a half ago, I was able to kind of open it up and kind of think, what could I do with some of this, and put together a track order and start incorporating friends and people to start putting it together. The crazy part was, just as I kept going down the path of putting this thing together, you kind of hit a lot of dead ends, but as soon as I hit like a dead end, something else would appear and kind of guide me towards the right way of making this album. So the hardest part was really just figuring out what I could do with what I had and have it make sense. And so I had to make the decision to not make a decision about any of it and just follow wherever the path led me.
Well, that answered the next question. So, like, when it comes to the project and now that it's out in the world, what are like some of the things that you're most proud of?
I am just most proud. I think that it's just a whole ass album. I feel like it just has the right dynamics of, it's rocking when it needs to be, it's fun, it's silly in a couple of spots, it's really serious, it's kind of weird, it really took at your heart a lot, especially Richard. And it kind of really encompasses a lot of everything. I think Richard would really have wanted in this album.
Could you talk a little bit about Richard and knowing that he had been working on this, before passing?
Yeah, he was definitely in a very self-reflective kind of spiritual journey himself the last year or two of his life, and a lot of those themes are on the music. And yeah, so I mean, he spent a lot of time kind of. He left a lot of spaces that he lived in, and physically, and places he worked, and just really wanted to find himself and go through that journey. And you know, the songs really speak a lot about that.
That's great. Ultimately, where can folks buy No Distance? Where can folks buy No Distance on vinyl?
Yeah, you can buy No Distance on vinyl. It's on through his Bandcamp. If you just search Richard Sherfey, we have a brand new Bandcamp set up. Can't quite remember what it's labeled, but Richard Sherfey Bandcamp. We're gonna have some records around Orlando. I'm gonna deliver some to Red Light in Orlando today or tomorrow. They'll be selling them there. Hopefully get them at Park Ave CDs and things like that. So yeah, around Orlando and online.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so over the last couple years, my hat collection has grown, but these wide brim hats I got from Two Roads Hat Company have become my absolute favorites. I am very excited to let you know that I now have a partnership going with Two Roads Hat Company. Head on over to tworoadshatco.com. Pick out your favorite hat. They have so many to choose from. They have felt, straw, wide brim, short brim. They have trucker hats. They have beanies, you name it. Be sure to use the discount code FOLEY15 and get yourself 15% off of your order. Again, that's tworoadshatco.com. FOLEY15 in all caps will get you 15% off your order at Two Roads Hat Company.
So yeah, that's
Very cool.
yeah, that's exactly why I chose that album.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I got my copy as well. Love it. I never met Richard, but I didn't become aware of him until just after he passed.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like so tragic for me, because when I started listening, I was like, this guy's just in town.
Yeah.
And I think at that time, I don't remember exactly when he passed, there was there was a lot of like electricity around the songwriter scene here in Orlando, and I feel like there was a lot of, not that there isn't now, but it was just a different thing.
Different, yeah.
It
was different.
A lot of folks hadn't moved out of town that had to kind of got priced out, unfortunately. So the Folk Yeah festivals, all this is like pre-COVID stuff it was just a really exciting time. So
It was. And real quick, Richard Sherfey was the best dressed, in my opinion, at every show that he played at. Every time I saw him, he was always wearing a suit and sunglasses, and he had a bottle of wine. And he would just drink the bottle of wine as he was playing, and he's just a badass. I think he started with like a goblet, and then he would like turn to...
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and he just had such a presence. He has
Yeah.
such a presence. The last time I got to hang out with him was we saw Alan Stone together.
Oh, cool.
And then, yeah, we went and got some tacos afterward and talked, and yeah. So.
Fun. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
love you, Richard. So
Well, my first album is, I found a very good condition original pressing of Van Morrison's
Woo!
Moondance.
Moondance.
And this is one of my all-time favorite records.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
It's just, the songwriting is incredible. The Van Morrison stamp on things, when you hear a Van Morrison song, you know it's a Van Morrison song immediately. This is a really sexy album. It's like
So sexy.
It's so sexy.
It is.
It's like an
It is.
underrated lovemaking
Yeah, it's
album.
a great album.
The rhythms as well as the themes lyrically. And I was interested in this for a lot of reasons. Like, this one's personal to me because, like, last year we talked about the fact that my friend Del Smallridge gave me a copy of Waylon Jennings' Honky Tonk Heroes, and that was really special to me.
Yeah, I remember.
And Del is back in Ocala, where I grew up, where I know him from. And so we don't see each other every day. I have a new job. He has a new job. And so we still text and stay in touch. He has a friend that he also worked with in education in Ocala who now owns a record store. And I just stopped in one day and introduced myself and explained, how I know Del and everything. And I found that copy of Moondance, and it wasn't even priced yet. And he was kind of like, I won't say how much he gave it to me for, but he gave it to me for under.
Good deal?
Yeah, he gave me a really
Did
good
you
deal
say it was
on
original pressing, or is it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful, and it's
That's
in
great.
great condition. And I think with Van Morrison, it's interesting because I was reflecting on this the other day about how if Van Morrison was making music right now, that he would 100% be Ryan Adams, like we would feel weird about listening to his music because he is like notoriously. I'm sorry if I'm ruining this for anybody. He's notoriously a really shitty person.
Yeah, I mean he's
And
yeah. Notorious. I think the key word is notorious.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, he's on
well
that.
known.
He's on that list. He's on the list of like not the nicest people.
Yeah.
And you know that list, folks.
Yeah,
you know that list.
What's mind blowing to me about that list is how beautiful the songs can be.
I mean, shit, Clapton's on that list.
I know.
And Clapton's God to
know,
me. You know, I
I
fucking
know.
love Clapton. So
Same,
very much
same,
aware.
man.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about how like if those guys were making music now, it was just. And we've talked about this before on the show, and we don't need to get into all of that conversation again. But the separating the art from the artist conversation, and how different I think it is now than it would have been when Van Morrison and Eric Clapton were in their heyday. You know,
100%.
100%
agree with that.
I think I'm able to enjoy Van Morrison a lot better because he's not, on social media, saying something really shitty. He's just sort of this notorious asshole. Every once in a while, I guess he does pop up on your feed saying something really shitty, but it's not the same as some of the, the stories we hear about the Zach Bryans and the some of these folks.
It's like mild. It's not mild
not
in the
mild,
sense that it's
yeah.
insensitive, but it is like it was around the pandemic, I mean, but before that, he was notoriously
I was
like
gonna say, he's
a little bit of a
well-known.
prima donna, but like I feel like in his older age, he has gotten a little bit more on the boomer side of things.
Yeah.
On the negative boomer side of things.
But that record, man.
But Moondance, I do agree. I think it's on its own playing field.
Yeah. So, yep, that was the one that jumped out to me when I was thinking about what is an acquisition that, like, I'm really happy about. Like that. And there was a special moment connecting with Dell's friend.
I was going to say that.
Like, all of that was special. I ended up walking out with, like, $100 worth of records and CDs. It's not coming through.
Okay. So sorry.
Yeah, I'll double check. I ended up coming out with out of there with like $100 that I paid. That was like way more than $100 worth of records.
Yeah, like, and you weren't expecting that, I bet.
Yeah, no.
Like you weren't anticipating, but you find a gem.
Yeah.
I walked away from an original pressing of Seeger in the mountains of Kentucky where Mariah grew up. I walked away. The dude had Zeppelin original pressing, Beatles original pressing, like he had, and they were in pristine condition. He was asking for a pretty penny for him.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling of where when you find a record, it's also about that connection.
Yeah.
Of like I'm getting something that's like this was how it was supposed to be sold.
Like the warmth of
There's a
vinyl
warmth
that we
to
talk
it, for
about,
sure.
right? Like in the personal connection, and one of the big reasons that we do this is that you and I have bonded over vinyl, and it's a connection that we have as well.
Yes.
So it was just really nice to. And then some other guy came in. It was one of those record store experiences where like two other guys showed up, and
You
know what I mean?
Shooting the shit.
And now you're shooting the shit. You're
Oh,
talking about all
that's-
kinds of different bands.
It's
and-
like a tool. It's like going to Ace Hardware.
Yeah. And the one dude was talking about seeing Grateful Dead in the '90s and all this. Then I ended up spending
There's
like
always a
2
dude.
hours in there.
There's always a dude
Talking about seeing Grateful
talking
Dead in the
about
90s.
seeing the dead.
Yeah. So that one's my first one that I wanted to share.
That's a great. I love that it's connected to the Jennings album from last year and the story behind it. And I think that was what got me into collecting records in the first place. It wasn't about nostalgia for me because they were before my time. I grew up on cassettes, then CDs, then so on.
Yeah,
So
same.
it was before my time. And the real connection for me was, hey, I started traveling as an adult. Like I'm going to go to New York. I should go check out a record store while I'm in New York. That way I go get this album. My parents were living in like up there. My family was living up there. And I like found Joe Cocker's Greatest Hits. I was like purchased.
Yeah.
Because it was the moment. And he just passed away. So like there's an emotional tie to that,
Yeah.
There's some sentimental value for me of like buying the record. So I just love the story behind it was my point.
Hell yeah.
Well, my next one is not a newly released album either, but it is a remastered edition, and it's a collection. So it's the definitive Decoration Day by Drive By Truckers, and I'm choosing this for multiple reasons that I just want to be able to talk about. The first reason was that listening to the remastered version of this year when it came out, as opposed to the original pressing or the original sound, I just felt like I was connecting with it more. There was something that sounded a lot louder to me and a lot more like there was something clean about it that I needed. Sometimes with drive-by truckers, I can get lost in they do such a it's not that they play live. I don't know if they're playing live, but they have such a gritty sound to them. So when they're taking the mixes and they're like remastering them and doing all that, which I want to understand better.
Yeah.
I just really connected with that in particular. So I would actually say that while I have the definitive Decoration Day, I am most impressed with the remastering of it. Like I splurged on it for myself because of that remaster. It took me somewhere, and I think that really that does a lot. And especially, I mean, it also goes hand in hand with the fact that I've been playing a lot of Decoration Day outfit.
Yeah.
When I play at my gigs, no matter where I'm playing, sometimes even at original shows. Tyler Hood and I opened for Tim Berry earlier this year. And we played Decoration Day in front of a packed house. Yeah. And I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
That was one of my favorite songs to play this year.
It was great.
So and thank you. And I just, I have a connection to the songs that's a bigger connection now than there even was before because of that. Yeah. I hear the songs differently. Yeah. As I've aged, as I've gotten older.
Oh, it's the truth, man. And those reissues, and the drive-by truckers do that reissue so well. The physical copies, I have a handful of them. I don't have Decoration Day, but I have the Dirty South, and I have the reissued American Band, which is my favorite. Drive-by truckers.
DBT collection is unfucking real.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Is it just that entire
Yeah,
cubby?
this is all okay. So this is what I call, because when people ask my favorite band,
I said it right there.
I said the Drive-by Truckers universe. Okay. Yeah. So this is all DBT up until right about here. So it's about half the shelf. And then this is all Jason. Well, there's Will Johnson mixed in there.
Okay.
Solo stuff, and then there's Jason. This is all Jason Isbell. So,
there you go.
So
it's the definitive cubby.
Yep. I even have. Do you know this record, Potato Hole?
No.
Okay, so this is a record that Booker T and the MGs.
Okay.
The Drive-by Truckers are his backing band.
No way.
It's called Potato Hole. We'll listen to it later.
I'm going to have to listen to that. Yeah, we're going to have to listen to that one.
There's even a cover of Outkast's Hey Ya on it. And it's the Drive-by Truckers and Booker T.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah.
We need to talk about that. I don't even need to listen to that to know that that's a gem right there.
Yeah, he's also, the Truckers are also, and their build is something different usually. Yeah. But the Truckers are also the backing band for one of my favorite Jerry Joseph records.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's great, dude.
It's ridiculous.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It is a little, but you know what? It's one of those collections where it's like you can see from a distance some of them that really stand out. Yeah, we were just sitting here talking before we started, and Wilco, I love when the name of a record can stand out where you can see it from a little bit further away.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, though I'm not one to get collections, so this year has been a little different. Mariah's mom got me Cahoots by the band. The collection, demos and stuff on it.
That's fun.
Yeah. So there are, the getting collections and remasters even is really not my thing. So I felt like in my head, I was like, if I'm going to get one, it's going to be this.
I do it with the Truckers and I do it with Isbell. I have the Southeastern box set, I got the Something More Than Free reissue 10th anniversary. Because I had the original pressing, it's all worn out. I probably played it more than almost any record. But yeah, man, that's awesome.
That's great.
Decoration Day, one of my favorite Drive-by Truckers records.
It's so good.
Absolutely, top to bottom.
Also, real quick, I had not heard "Hell No, I Ain't Happy" until we saw them live at Ace Cafe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that has become one of my anthems.
Oh, it's a good one. Yeah.
Hell no, I ain't happy.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, they played
it. I feel like I missed out a lot of years without that song.
I just saw them at Orange Blossom Review that Jen Ross and I went to on my birthday earlier this month, and they played it. That was a killer set. That was a so fucking killer set. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Hell yeah. We saw some good shows this year. We could spend an entire episode on how many good shows we've seen.
Dude, for real.
Even together.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of shows together. And,
We have.
And I remember, just real quick,
Yeah.
I remember when you and I went to our first show together, I believe it was DBT at Ace Cafe. That might have been the first one because I remember you telling me, hey, man, I just got to say, I'm used to going to concerts by myself. So don't, if I ever go by myself or anything, don't take it to heart. But I will also say I really enjoyed going with you.
Yeah.
And I'm down to go to more.
You're
Anyway.
a great concert buddy.
Thanks,
That's the
man.
thing is like, I think we've talked plenty on this show about concert etiquette and that kind of thing. Like, it's the best when you don't have to feel like you have to be next to the person all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Someone isn't in your ear the whole time, but if there's something interesting, they're good about leaning in and saying something and then getting back to the show. Like all of that. Hey man, can I get you a drink while I'm going to the bar? Like you and I are great concert buddies.
Good
for
concert
sure.
buddies. I think everybody should have one.
Yep. Yep.
And that's coming from somebody who's gone to concerts by himself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. I remember when I was
Same, dude.
23. I think I talked about this on an episode before. I went to see Dawes
Yep.
and Connor Oberst at the Beecham.
Yep.
Went by myself. First time I ever did it, and I was like, this is my
You
thing.
can do whatever you want.
I'm doing this
Leave whenever
every
you
time.
want. You don't have to worry
so
about
it's
anybody.
very cool
Yeah.
to be able to say that I enjoy going to shows with you, buddy.
Awesome. Likewise.
All right, hit me with your number 2.
Okay, this one's fun for me. This one is Troubled Hubble's Making Beds in a Burning House.
Oh.
This is the 20th, speaking of reissues, this is the 20th anniversary remixed, remastered version of this record. I did not know anything about this record until this year. And Jim Hankey, who is the host of the Vinyl Emergency podcast.
Shout out.
Huge shout out. Wonderful podcast. Really good dude. We connected because we appreciate each other's work. And he thought of the Marinade because he was involved very closely with this project. He was a big fan of Troubled Hubble. He's friends with the guys. He wrote an essay that's in the liner notes of this reissue. That's a beautiful vinyl, this sort of orange, kind of translucent, splattery kind of thing. I hope they don't mind that description.
I see it. I see what you're saying.
It's a gatefold with pictures of the band from 20 years ago. And this is the kind of band that 20 years ago I would have been listening to, but for whatever reason, they didn't come across my radar, which is super fun. Because this is the time 20 years ago when I was listening to a lot of Wilco, a lot of Spoon, a lot of Modest Mouse, a lot of indie rock. And Bucket, make good choices, good boy. And so these guys coming along and having a similar sound, they're not the same, but they would fit in that same universe as the Mountain Goats. I was listening to a fuck ton of Mountain Goats 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really cool to get connected with a band that I would have been into 20 years ago that now I'm very much into, and they're not a band anymore.
Yeah, that's tough.
They broke up.
I have a couple like that.
Yeah, they broke up right after the record came out,
Yeah.
basically, and just not long after the record came out. So the reissue is very exciting for folks to get to rediscover it. I highly recommend that you check out Troubled Hubble, and then also I got to talk with Chris Otepka from Troubled Hubble because Jim connected us, and he thought of the Marinade specifically. He was like, no pressure, but I think that you would have a great conversation with Chris. I want to help get the word out. So it was like such a respect, like game recognizing game kind of thing that made me feel incredibly appreciated as a commentator on this kind of music, on music in general, as a podcaster, and as a fan, right?
Yeah.
So like Jim is he's a real one, and getting to connect with him the way that I did, as well as connecting with Chris from Troubled Hubble, was really special. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful that I have this beautiful physical copy of it. And really, this one jumped out to me as well, just as something that, and this is a recent acquisition. So it's super fun to be able to include it in this conversation because I didn't know shit about Troubled Hubble. And this is a 20-year reissue.
Yeah.
And now I'm a fan and I feel like I'm connected to them.
That's awesome. I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
What would you say their style is? Like, how would you define their music?
The broadest sense, like, I think the way I described it was it's sort of like nerdy indie rock.
Okay.
That is kind of like that oscillates between genres quite a bit. You know, that's what I loved about that time period was that there were so many bands making indie rock.
Sure.
It was just so hard to put them anywhere. There
Big variety.
and even an Americana label wouldn't have fit. You know, you
Yeah.
couldn't put them in rock and roll. They weren't the Stones. You couldn't, or blues, you know, you couldn't put them in white man's blues. They weren't Zeppelin or you know, like it didn't, there wasn't a good place for a lot of those bands, and there still isn't a good genre, and that's why we call it indie rock. And so I think it's hard to even describe other than they do oscillate between genres. They're very, there are moments that are pretty deep, and then there are moments that are just kind of silly and fun, you know? And I think that is special too, that like, you don't have to sit down and the way that I have to listen to an Isbell record and get my hanky out, you know, my tissues, hanky.
You said hanky.
And I, you know, I like that. I like that I can put it on and listen to it and have fun with it. Or if I want to dive in, I can dive in as well. And that's one of the things that I really liked about bands like Modest Mouse and Spoon is that, you know, Spoon's just like, I think I heard an interview where Britt Daniel was asked like, what, why are y'all always singing about like beasts and stuff? And I think it was him who was like, well, we're a bunch of fucking nerds. You know, we're on like mythical quests, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah,
right?
that's
I
great.
appreciate that. So Troubled Hubble is my second one that I wanted to talk about, Making Beds in a Burning House.
Dude, Bucket is like all about the energy. Right
Yeah.
now.
I
Love this dude.
My pup
Love this
Bucket
dog.
is making his second appearance, I think, on the podcast, maybe third.
Maybe, yeah. It's a new.
He's relatively new to the house.
His first one was Childers, Snipe Hunter.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
right. That's right. Yeah. So this is his third appearance on the podcast,
Loving up on Tyler Hood.
and he is much more active today, I think, than he has been. So
Yeah,
I
good on
don't
him,
think
man.
y'all are hearing much of this, but
No.
if you are, that's Bucket Boy, my baby.
Bucket boy. Man, that's great. I love this, and also like I was thinking about how we did the records revisited episode
Yeah.
where we talk with Ben and Wayne about our favorite songs of the year.
Uh-huh.
I got introduced to so many songs that I didn't know existed, and it like sort of pissed me off
Yeah.
because they were so damn good.
Yeah.
And so this is like a heavier dose of that, where it's like, here's a whole ass band that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to probably fucking love them.
It's a record from 20 years ago. Yeah,
And I love that. I love
yeah.
that sound. I love that era.
Yeah.
You threw out some heavy hitters there, Spoon and everything. So, man, that's awesome. Well, we are at my number 3 vinyl purchase of the year. And this one is mainly just because, as I mentioned earlier, I have a list of albums that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look for those albums, every time when I travel, I always look back at the list and I go, all right, what ones am I looking for? Because if I know that we're going to go to a record store, maybe I'm on tour, maybe I'm with Mariah somewhere, we're on our, if we had the time on our bachelor trip, I would have loved to go to a record store. We were just having a fucking blast. Yeah. Too busy having fun.
Yeah.
So I look at this one as a special purchase because of that very fact that it was on my list, and then some. Like I got like a bonus of it. So it is an autographed copy of the full band of The Muse by the Wood Brothers.
Oh, that's fucking dope,
and
man.
I got it down the street at Park Ave CD.
Awesome.
And yeah, it is awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm like, for me, I'm like, man, I've been looking for this record, and it has been at the top of my list for a long time. And I had to have had 3 other records, one being a John Prine record, in my hands. And I put all of them away so I could buy that record.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was, a little bit more out of my price range. And I looked at it and I was like,
Yeah.
how am I going to turn that down?
Man, that record is so good.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
Sing About It is probably one of my favorite songs of all
Yeah.
time. It always gets me out of whatever mood I'm in.
Yeah.
It really just helps me out. So, I felt a very, very strong connection. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about our favorite purchases this year rather than the albums of the year, because I knew in my heart, I was like, this is a really good year for getting records.
Yeah.
And that was a big one for me where I was like, I knew I was looking for it and I just can't get over the fact that it was right down the road.
Yeah.
And it's autographed. That's just a bonus. I don't go searching for autographed. I don't go searching for autographed things, records, CDs, whatnot. Although I will say I also commandeered a Lucero Ben Nichols signed CD for $8 at Park Ave CD about like 2 weeks later. About like a month.
Fun.
That's a lie. About a month later, I went back. You know.
Yeah.
And I found that. So anyway, I digress. It's not about the autographs for me so much as it's about the copy of the record and just having it, throwing it on whenever I want. And I also got to see the Wood Brothers for the first time this year.
Oh, man.
And so that, and that was a hell of a show.
Yeah, the Woods are a delight. Yeah.
Mariah and I went over to the Palazzo.
They're coming back this coming year.
I saw that.
Yeah, they'll be there in
Yeah,
February.
I saw that.
It's possible that your boy will be sitting down with John O'Ricks while they're in
Oh,
town.
shit. It's not possible that I'm opening for them, but I at least wanted to say a joke. Because I'm trying to put shit into...
Well, these days you're fucking nailing some. You're landing these.
Getting
you know?
some good ones,
You're
huh?
landing these, and
Getting
so
some good opportunities,
yeah, like
folks.
it's hard to know whether you're joking or not.
No, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about
I'm
that.
getting. I'm getting. I'm just being annoying, and that's why I love having Sterling as my booking agent, is because he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, Jordan's hustling and annoying everybody. I should probably jump on board.
Yeah.
So
Get after it.
hey, listen, any artists or bands out there, this is my pitch. 5-second pitch. Book me.
Yeah.
Have me please join and give direct support. I will give it my all, because
Fuck
this
yeah.
is my
That's
goal.
the truth,
That's
yeah.
where I'm going. Give me 2 years and this is what I'm going to be doing full time. I called it. Boom.
There you go.
Slam.
Done.
All right, so
Awesome.
quite the descent from the Wood Brothers, the Muse. But
Man, I love that
great
record.
Great
Oliver
artwork,
Wood.
too.
I've had it is. Yeah, the artwork is dope. I've had the great honor of interviewing Oliver Wood 3 times.
hell yeah.
Once for print, and then he's been a guest on my show, The Marinade, twice. Very thoughtful guy. I've met Chris Wood briefly when I was interviewing Oliver at Swanee. I've seen them at Swanee. Like, they play Spirit of the Swanee Music Park at the Roots Festivals pretty frequently. So I've seen the Woods there several times. I've seen them at Orange Blossom Review.
I was going to say you saw them at Orange Blossom.
Yeah, and it's always a great show. I've seen Orange Blossom Review a couple times. For a couple years, they were curating the lineup there. More to come on that with the Marinade, by the way, everybody. I've got a couple really special episodes of the Marinade coming up from Orange Blossom Review, so stay tuned for that.
Can't wait for those,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And that is one of the festivals that I am eyeing
Yeah, we got to get you there. I mean,
in a very determined manner.
yeah, you are a great fit for that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Trying. We got some cool things in the works, so we're on the right track.
Awesome.
All right. So what's your third and final record purchase of the year?
All right, so this is not a purchase; it's a gift.
Oh,
This is a gift.
Ooh, love it. I didn't know what else to say in terms of purchase. I tried so many other words of like
Acquisition.
vinyl. Hey guys, come check out our vinyl acquisitions.
I acquired this record via gift. You acquired that record via
Vinyl
purchase.
acquired. Vinyl acquired is a good name. Acquired vinyl.
Acquired vinyl, like an acquired taste.
Like this is our session. Is that we're having an acquired vinyl.
Yeah, I kind of like that actually.
Yeah, we might work.
Yeah, we might roll with that a little bit.
T-shirt.
All right, so my third acquisition, my acquired vinyl of the year, is really special to me. This is a gift from a mutual friend of ours.
Oh.
And I met this mutual friend, Kayla, through your wedding, when I was officiating your wedding. And
Kayla's
we have
awesome.
connected in a really meaningful way. I have grown to really love and appreciate Kayla. And she gave me the sweetest birthday gift. My birthday was earlier this month. And it was very personal, so I'm not going to share too much of that gift because I feel like that's just a us thing, you know? But one of the things that was in that gift was a Tom T. Hall record.
Oh.
And she didn't know shit about my connection to Tom T. Hall. I'm not sure that anybody listening or you know,
I don't know who
about my
Tom T.
connection.
Hall is.
Okay.
Sorry, Tom T.
Tom T. Hall.
I went to school with a dude named Tommy T.
Okay, this is
Tommy
not.
Talmadge?
This is not
Not the same.
Tommy T.
Yeah.
Tom T. Hall, Kentucky legend.
Oh, wow.
One of the great songwriters of all time. In fact, more connection with Tom T. Hall in your wedding at your reception. I mean, at your rehearsal dinner. I'm sorry. Kyle Keller and I were talking about
Recommendations
the
here.
rhymer and
Oh, wow.
at some length. Yeah, he knows a lot about Tom T. Hall.
I gotta start taking fucking notes, man.
This
some
record is Other Five and Dimers.
Oh.
It has a lot of songs that show up on Tom T. Hall's Greatest Hits, which I have a
Okay.
copy of. And that record was like the record that was my dad's favorite. That Greatest Hits record, my dad's favorite artist has always been Tom T. Hall. On road trips, we would listen to Tom T. Hall's Greatest Hits on repeat. And it is such a nostalgic thing for me. So for Kayla, in the context of this very thoughtful birthday gift, also gifting me this Tom T. Hall record, not knowing that I loved Tom T. Hall and it was so sentimental for me. Like, I'm even getting a little sentimental just thinking about it, about how
Wow.
special it was, and also just thinking back on this year and how big of a role your wedding, your marriage has played in sort of my personal and creative life. And how many friends I've made from your family, your joined family now, right? Both
Yeah.
friends of Mariah's, family of Mariah's, your friends and family have become my friends and family. And this is like the perfect encapsulation, I think, of why we do this, why we've become such good friends. And it ties all of the spirit of what we do on Life's Greatest Hits together. So that one I had to include.
Dude, you have such a way of like, why is it your yearly wrap ups make me want to fucking bawl my eyes out? What are you doing to me? God, you're a sweetheart. Jason Earle, you are a sweetheart. That is some of the nicest words I've heard. And I really appreciate it. And I don't have the words. I think that's the thing, is that like I feel like I've leveled up in such a weird way, in such a way that I'm like still trying to grasp it.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure, yeah.
But and I mean that in the best way possible, that like I'm trying to be, you know, I'm trying to be the best that I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm madly in love and happy, and I'm just so looking forward to our future and everything that is encapsulated in that. And the fact that you were such a big part of the wedding, I mean, it goes back to, you know, even just asking you. I remember telling Mariah, like, I was like, hey, I really want to ask Jason Earle to officiate, because we've grown so close over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've definitely grown to appreciate you. I even was just saying a couple days ago how, you know, I best friends don't like just spring up out of nowhere. For me, especially like it develops in time.
Yeah.
And you know, I think about all the guys that were in my wedding and you and all my buddies that were on the bachelor trip, and I just so appreciate you, bud.
Likewise,
I love you, and I appreciate your kind words. And so this is actually a really good segue into just a side point.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, on our last episode, you gifted me a record
Mm-hmm.
on the show, and I held on to that emotion of what that meant to me all year. And so I have a gift for you, but I don't have it with me right now.
Okay.
It doesn't ship until February.
Okay.
So like there was nothing I could do about that. I tried everything.
Okay.
But I got you the Macho Man Cincinnati Reds figure, brother.
Oh.
Yeah. It's coming. It's in the mail.
Oh
It'll
my
be
God.
here in February, from
That
what I
is
understand.
so fucking cool,
So,
dude.
yeah, just a little bit, just a little background
Yeah,
on
some
that.
context maybe for
So,
everybody. Like that's a
Man,
very
it was
us.
good timing, because like you were really. I was like, I'm gonna hit him so hard with this, because he's just making me all sappy and shit.
Oh, buddy, that is so fucking fun.
So I'm a wrestling fan, and Jason is a huge Macho Man. And I'm not saying he's not a wrestling fan, but I'm a diehard wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And Jason is also a fan from growing up watching wrestling, and we had extensive conversations about the history behind it, the 90s era, the attitude era, the 80s, all of it. Like we like talking older wrestling.
Yeah.
And your favorite wrestler is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yep.
And your favorite baseball team is the Cincinnati Reds.
Yep.
Right? And so there's a company called Major, right? And it's run by 2 former WWE wrestlers who are still wrestling in the indies and are kicking so much ass right now. Brian Myers, shout out, and Matt Cardona, shout out.
Nice.
These dudes are running this. They're a part of this company, and they're getting a bunch. They're still doing big rubber guys, the LJNs.
Yeah.
And they're taking wrestlers who are not currently contracted. So they'll sign a Legends contract or whatever, and that's how they got Macho Man. So they've been pumping out some Macho Man like figures over the last couple of years, and then they dropped this Macho Man figure literally with a Cincinnati Reds garb on it. And the minute it showed, I was like, this can't be real. Yeah. And I sent it to you, and you were like, "Oh my god!" And so I was like, "I gotta get it for him." But it didn't get when they announced it. It didn't come out when they announced it. So it came out like months and months later, where it was like you could buy it. So like as soon as it came out, I got you one. But yeah, it was so like it doesn't ship until February. So.
And the Macho
got
Man,
you good.
Like more, that is incredible, dude. I'm stoked for that. There's a Macho Man figurine behind us right now, that's sitting on my shelf that I got for my 40th birthday. So, and more context for folks listening: the Macho Man was a professional baseball player.
Yes.
In the Cincinnati Reds organization.
Yes, which is why it was made. Yeah. Fair point. You know way more about Macho Man than I do.
I know more than I should.
You met him.
I did meet him.
And that's a whole story and a half that we could get into.
Yeah.
But, there's not enough time.
No, there's not. We got honorable mentions and stuff to get to.
We do. But I wanted to say, that is
amazing.
And Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
You.
So you consider it Yeah. The minute it came out, I was like, I can't not get it for him.
That's so sweet. So, I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, man.
Okay, honorable mentions. What you got?
So at the beginning of the episode, I believe you said we were going to point out some of our just overall favorite acquisitions, acquired vinyl over the year, and so we both agreed we would list 4 other albums that we got and maybe give a brief reason why. So do you just want to run? How about I run through 4? You run through 4 instead of go back and forth. Yeah. All right. So my 4. John Moreland and the Dust Bowl Souls, Everything the Hard Way, because it is and it's also like limited. It's a limited copy. I got it because I've wanted to hear that sound for a long time, and I felt like I knew the album, but you know what I mean? Like remastering it again, it's like you're giving the album new life. Mm-hmm. You're introducing it to new people. So it wasn't an album that was in my my rotation. And so when John released it a couple months ago, I was like, I got to get this. And it is an amazing album.
It's so good.
Number 2, Lucero Unplugged. I got it on vinyl. It is an amazing album from start to finish. And it was hard to find. It was sold out for the first few months that it was out. I missed the wave of sale. Yeah. So I didn't get to get it. I didn't get to purchase it until a few months after it was released. Next up, Justin Townes Earle live at Grimey's. I'm actually wearing a Grimey's shirt right now, just because again it was another grab from Park Ave CD, where I was like, I can't believe they have this, and it was like it was a nice copy, because Grimey's records that are live are so hard to find.
Yeah.
Like I think my
Dolls one is one of your.
It's my number one, dude. Yeah. I think I say it all the time. If
I look for it every time
I look for that album everywhere. I don't even know if it's good because I'll never hear it. And that's the thing. So that's number 3, live at Grimey's, JTE. And then number 4 is Nebraska by Springsteen. Obviously, Springsteen had a big year with the movie, and. I love Nebraska. I love the story behind it. I love the focus, the reason for it. I love the purpose. I love what he was searching for, and watching that in the movie was really, I gravitated towards it. And so, I knew the movie was coming out. I was on my honeymoon with Mariah. We found this awesome record store, Mojo Records. Pretty sure Mojo Records. Yeah. It was in Eureka Springs,
Sounds like a
Arkansas.
record store in Eureka Springs,
Sure.
Arkansas.
And it was awesome. The guy was super nice that worked there and just took such good care of us. And I found Nebraska by Springsteen and I was looking for it. So it was like another one of those where like, I got it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'd been looking for that album in particular, original pressing the whole bit. So
Yeah.
those are my 4. How about you?
Dude, I passed up an original pressing of Nebraska for years, and then finally I was like, next one I see,
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And I found it right here at Retro Records, a block away.
Oh,
Probably like 8 years ago now, something
Yeah.
like that. But
that's Wild Electric Nebraska is probably one of my favorite albums of the year too.
yeah, it's really,
Just Electric
really good.
Nebraska, just the
Yeah.
just the Electric.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Yeah, same. All right, so I have this little 7-inch Magnolia and Johnson Electric Company.
Yes.
Will Johnson doing these Jason Molina era songs.
That's so cool.
This has Wooden Heart and 20 Cycles to the Ground, the latter of which is one of my favorite songs of all time. And those guys, I don't get FOMO a lot. Like, I go to the show, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You and I both. We go to the show. We go do the thing, and we figure out how, like, last year on this episode, this Superlatives episode, you mentioned, wanting to see Sturgill live, and then for your bachelor party, you saw Sturgill live.
How wild is that?
Isn't
man?
that cool? Yeah. And so,
That's so cool.
like, we go and we make the thing happen, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But man, they've been posting these videos of Will Johnson.
Yeah, I've been
with
seeing them
Magnolia
too.
Electric Company and
MJ Lenderman. Yeah, fuck.
Oh my God.
So good.
So that's one. I know you got a copy of this too, but this American Aquarium live at Red Rocks record is so fucking beautiful.
It is so good.
They knocked it out of the park. It
They
sounds
did.
great. The color of the record itself
Yeah.
looks like the Red Rocks,
Yep.
which is so cool. So
And it's limited.
yep, I scooped that up as soon as it
Yeah, I
went on
did
sale.
too. I did too. Didn't even listen to it. I didn't listen to that one.
Oh, it's so good, man.
No,
beforehand,
before I got
out
the.
yet. Yeah.
I waited till the album came out to listen to it on vinyl. I didn't listen to it live.
It's same, same.
It's very good.
And then I was at our local record store. Our friends run Binks here in downtown Orlando. Shout out Binks. And I played the open mic there last week. And I picked up a copy of the Drive-By Truckers, The Unraveling, which is the only record by the Drive-By Truckers, I think, at all that doesn't have Wes Freed's artwork on it. It has a photo as the cover. This is a pandemic-era record.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember listening to it at the time and really enjoying it, but not, like, getting hooked on it the way that I have every other Drive-By Truckers record.
Yeah.
And I found this copy. It's really beautiful. It's like pinkish kind of colored, marble sky colored is what it says. Limited edition copy. Dude, it is so pretty.
That's
and
great.
like this record's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I should have given it more credit at the time. And speaking of the Drive-By Truckers, one of probably record number 4 of the year for me, behind Isbell, Tyler Childers, and S.G. Goodman's Planning by the Signs, which is probably my 5th. I'm cheating a little bit.
Planning by the Signs is my 5th favorite album of the year.
Yeah. So this is probably my 5th. Planning by the Signs would be 4th. Patterson Hood's Exploding Trees and Airplane Screams is so good.
That's awesome.
Artwork's
It
wild.
is a great album.
It's a gatefold. I'm a sucker for. It's not a gatefold. I'm sorry. I just ruined that. But the packaging is beautiful though, in typical Patterson Hood fashion. There's this whole booklet, and this record is so good. A lot of standouts on it. I really love the collaborations with Lydia Lovelace, Waxahachie, and Wednesday on here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So those are my 4.
That's a great album. Great selections, man.
Yeah.
I think, how many records do you think you bought this year? Do you know?
You know, I don't know. You keep track, don't you?
I do keep track, actually. Let me...
I keep track of my collection.
If you had to give a
but
ballpark figure.
I would guess I probably bought 40 records this year.
40?
Maybe. No. I bet I bought more than that. I'm looking right now.
Don't tell Mariah I got 38 records this year.
So that's... And some of these were gifted. But
A couple were
I'm
gifted.
looking at 8. 7, 8. So...
Yeah, I got some solid
Yeah,
pickups this year.
I probably
Got
bought,
Tim Berry.
I probably bought 40 or 50 records.
A lot of the records that I got were dudes that I went on the road with.
Yeah,
that
that's
I got
pretty
to play
cool.
with, like John Moreland. I got one of his records. I got Earthbound Blues,
Mm-hmm.
and I already have like the majority of his records. Michigan Rattlers got theirs. Shout out Michigan Rattlers. They have decided to take an indefinite hiatus.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Graham, the lead singer, is going out on his own. Graham Young.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's his last name. Yeah, Graham Young. If I'm wrong, take this part out.
Yeah,
But
we'll take
Graham
it out.
from Michigan Rattlers, and then Tommy Prine. I opened for Tommy Prine this year.
Yeah,
Got
you
his
did.
record. Tim Berry got his record. So yeah,
You had some.
it was a
great
good year.
fucking-
It was a
man, you had
good
great
year, man.
yeah.
And even considering like I took half the year off, basically, like from playing shows, playing out and about. Like yeah, it's been an unbelievable year. So
Man, it's been an unbelievable year for Life's Greatest Hits too. This
has.
is so much fun. Again this year, you know, we did the damn thing last year, and
Yeah.
we now are at the point where, you know, most podcasts don't make it past 3 to 5 episodes, and almost none make it past 10.
yeah,
And here we are 2 years in, going into year 3.
yeah, you got to put in the work. We got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Are we at 2 years?
Well,
Did we
two
start-
2 calendar years.
2
not
calendar
full
years. Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like
We're
we
almost
started in the middle
there,
of
though.
the year, you know.
Yeah, we're almost there,
So-
and it's been awesome. I just love talking shop with you and
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about music, and what I've been really enjoying is communicating and connecting with people who follow us and support us too, which is starting to pick up on social media when we share things. Trying to stay on the game with that. Jason and I decided that next year we're going to alternate songs of the week. So I will do a song of the week. Jason will pick the next song of the week. The agreement is it has to be a song within the year, with the exception of the first couple weeks, first month of January, considering not a lot of new music out.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
that is the way that the song of the week goes. It's something I've done. I realized I've been picking my favorite song of the week since I was like in middle school. Didn't even know that I had been doing it. I don't remember how I came to thought of that, but it is still something that will keep going. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But just loving this podcast with you, man, and I'm really enjoying how much fun it's been. I think we've had some of our best episodes this year. Foxes in the Snow was awesome just because it was on the fly, and I think it helped us kind of decide exactly how we're going to go about this
Change
podcast.
everything,
It kind
yeah.
of changed the direction of where we're going to go with this, and we still have a lot of good ideas. You know, we want to get more people on. We had my one of my best friends, Tyler Hood, and bandmate Tyler Hood, on for the Childers episode, and we definitely have a lot of other characters and folks in our lives that we definitely would love to bring on. So I think that's in our horizon. And you know, as I said, we just want to connect with y'all. So what's really cool is I put the feelers out to see if any of our followers were interested in commenting their favorite albums that they purchased this year, just to see if anybody would react. And we actually did. We got 3 responses, which I really appreciate these people, and I know that you appreciate them too. So I'll go ahead and just I said that on the post that if you tell us your favorite album, we'll give you a quick shout out.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up tonight with our episode, I just want to say these comments and shout out to the people who mentioned them. Our good friend Zach Schultz from Americana Curious, he said that Big Ugly by Fust was one of his favorite albums, which is one of mine, top
too.
20.
Yep.
And then Getting Killed by Geese was his other one.
That one's great,
I don't
too.
think he could. I just started listening to that one. It's pretty good. The first song's fucking nuts, but it does get into a groove for sure. So shout out to Zach Schultz. Next one is my boy Nick Mutragrosso,
Hell yeah.
drummer of Oklahoma Stackhouse. One hell of a dude. If you're in the Orlando area and you need some housing loan advice, he's the one to go to. Nick Mutragrosso.
He's also a damn fine roommate on a bachelor party. I can confirm.
He's a cool dude.
He's a good guy.
Nick's
He's
just
a
a
good
great
guy.
dude, wonderful dad. Nick Mutragosa said that his favorite album purchase was deluxe version of Alan the Chemist, Larry June, and 2 Chainz' Life is Beautiful. And he also said that he is still waiting for his copy of Wednesday Bleeds, which was one of both of our favorite albums of this year. And you actually introduced them to me, Elderberry Wine. You told me to give that a listen, and I fell in love with it. I told Nick to go listen to it. He fell in love with it because Nick has a very eclectic taste in music. So shout out to Nick Mutragrosso. And then last but not least, Jim Hankey.
Yeah.
For Vinyl Emergency, he shot a message straight up when I put it out. He didn't even comment on it. He just sent it right to us, and he said that he got the 6 LP anniversary box set of Live at the Greek by Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes.
Oh wow!
And that was his favorite purchase of
Yeah.
the year. So shout out, what an awesome list of albums, and we really
Yeah.
appreciate the feedback and the interaction, folks. We really do love doing this, and this kind of started out Life's Greatest Hits started out selfishly because I just wanted a place to share my music, but to be able to share it with a best friend, it means even more, and to talk about physical copies of vinyl rather than spend a lot of time talking about streaming and all the stuff out there, Spotify or any other handles, which I think any other streaming services, which I think might be something that would be of worth in having a conversation about.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot to talk about that because I will be I have moved over to Tidal, which
Hell
I
yeah,
haven't
buddy!
told you
Welcome
yet.
to the sweet
So,
waves of Tidal.
Yeah, so
Water's warm.
I feel like there's a lot to talk about with that.
Mhm.
But in terms of just this podcast, we talk about the physical copies of records and what they mean to us and why we think they're so special. So if you're into that and that's something that you want more of, come on over to Life's Greatest Hits. Follow us on social media, support, give a listen to our records, or our podcasts about records, and just let us know what you think.
Make sure to follow Jordan Foley on all the socials as well, so you don't miss any of updates of the amazing things he has. You're going on tour in the spring.
Man, I'm going on tour in January.
Yeah.
Spencer Thomas of Future Birds, I'm hitting the road with him, going up through the Southeast. I got some other irons in the fire that I can't talk about yet, but I'm very excited about that. And you should also be very excited about the Marinade podcast with Jason Earle, because it sounds like you have a lot going on there.
I got a
too.
lot going on with the Marinade as well. Thank you. And then, of course, folks, follow Marinade Podcast, but also follow Jason Earle Music on Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Because your boy's making a record.
You went from me being like, hey, you should share videos to, hey, I'm going to make a motherfucking EP, bitch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heard. That's
Yeah.
great.
I
I
was
love
just-
it. I think that's so cool.
Thanks, man. I was talking with a mutual friend today about how, like, a year and a half ago, I was, like, just barely getting back on stage and, like, starting to hone my chops to. I now host an open mic of only original music.
Yeah, man.
That's, like, slammed with talent and
Yeah, dude.
making a record.
George
so,
Brinkley came out from
I know,
from
from
Lakeland.
Yeah.
I like George Brinkley.
He's so
He's
good.
been a buddy of mine for a long time. So
Yeah.
when I
Lexi
saw him
Long
there, I was
yeah.
so mad that I didn't go.
Dude, his set
so
was killer.
I was upset that
Eden
I missed
Archer
that one.
played.
Yeah, I saw
Lexi
some-
Long
yeah.
came from Coco to play.
Yeah, dude, keep going. You got people for January?
Well, January's filling up, so
Okay.
folks listening, if you wanna come on out, come on out. But also, if you don't play or don't want to play, and it's just a good. Jordan knows. Jordan played.
It's a good time,
You never
guys.
know. You might just get a set from Jordan Foley just randomly at
maybe,
this
yeah.
open mic.
I did the first one.
It was
with Mariah,
awesome.
and it was fun.
First Wednesday of every month, and so yeah, we're doing the thing. Follow Jordan Foley, follow Life's Greatest Hits on all the socials, follow Marinade Podcast, and of course Jason Earle Music. Y'all, thank you so much for sharing your Life's Greatest Hits with us.
Thanks for a wonderful year, everybody. Happy holidays and Happy New Year, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Peace.